Today, I am bringing you a micro brand with a pre-launch website down in the description below. Today, we are talking about the brand new Santura Novus. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Chase, and this is All Things Random, mostly watch reviews with some random stuff sprinkled in between. Now, one of the reasons why I wanted to bring you guys this watch was because of one of my brand new subscribers to the channel. We're at about 23,000 subscribers, which is pretty good, I think, for this channel. And what this subscriber said was that he appreciated the fact that I'm bringing watch brands to the YouTube space that not a whole lot of people talk about. Sure, some people talk about them, but not a whole lot. When you look at the entire watch community of watch YouTubers that are over 20, 30, 40, 50, 100,000 subscribers, all they do is talk about luxury watch brands. They hardly bring you guys the affordable things that basically the everyday person can afford. And I love bringing you guys brands that I've never heard of that I think punches pretty high above the belt. Now, this watch comes in at under $400 for the pre-launch sale, and they offer this thing in a few different colors. Today, I have the blue, which is actually a beautiful gradient blue dial, and we'll get into that in just a moment. As always, the details first, then my opinion about the watch at the very end. So first, starting with the measurements, case diameter is going to be 38 millimeters in diameter. The case thickness is going to be 10.5, which is actually relatively thin for an automatic watch, especially one from a micro brand. The lug to lug or footprint of this watch is going to be 44 millimeters, which is actually quite short, especially for a 38 millimeter diameter watch, which means this thing is going to fit very good on the average wrist. And the lug width or the strap width is going to be 20 millimeters. Now, this thing does have an applied black leather strap, which means this thing is dressed up with a stainless steel buckle and tang with the brand at the end. But I am going to put a chase strap on this at the very end to dress it down slightly. Chase straps are my own personal watch strap. It is a good alternative for the black if you want to, again, dress it down slightly. Now, one of the things I love most about this watch is going to be the dial, but we'll get into the multi-layered dial in just a moment. Now, inside this watch, beating at 28,800 vibrations an hour, is a Miyota 9039. Now, the 9039 is a premium Miyota movement. It has 24 joules and 42 hours of power reserve. Now, one of the things that I do love about Miyota is not only do they make a workhorse movement, but they are extremely reliable and extremely accurate. Most people, especially at a price point that this thing comes in, would probably cheapen out for something like an NH35 and just leave a ghost date on this. So one pull of that crown and it goes immediately into the time function. You often don't find micro brands using the correct movement for the watch. It's good to see that they are. Screw down crown on the back. It does have a screw down case back, and it does have 100 meters of water resistance with that screw down crown. So this is going to be a great everyday watch. So not only can you wear this as a dress watch because it has a beautifully blue gradient dial that is lighter on the inside, that gets darker along the outside. With that black strap, it is slightly more dressy, but you can also dress this down. I think this thing is going to look great at the end of the video, although it does look great now. Now, talking about the dial has a chapter ring that's applied along the outside, giving it a nice little lip or a texture or a step around the outside. You can see it has 3 batons at the 12, 2 at the 3, 2 at the 6, 2 at the 9, then small single batons around the alternating hours with more of a skeletonized printed baton, so it just gives it a little different texture on the dial. It's just different. We're all used to the homages out there, and this is no homage to anything that I've ever seen. This is truly unique. Santura just below the 12, Novus just above the 6, 10 ATM, and 100 meters of water resistant. I love the sword hands that they applied here with a pip at the very end of the second hand. The case is made of 316L stainless steel. The bezel is a high polished bezel, which looks great from the top, gives a nice pop to the eye, a nice dress look from the top down. And then from the side, it's slightly more sporty with a brushed case, but chamfered edges offering different varieties of finishing here. Brushed along the top of the lug, chamfered, brushed along the top, high polished, then along the back, a high polished case back. One of the things that I do love about this watch is just the versatility of the watch itself and the uniqueness that they are bringing. Oftentimes, like I've already said, you don't see micro brands offering anything unique. They're simply copy and pasting from other brands. Let's go ahead and toss this on the wrist. Then we will show you a loom shot, and then we'll close out at the very end. And here's the watch on my 7¼ inch wrist, and you can tell by that lug to lug or small footprint here that it actually wears relatively well. Now this 38mm diameter wears kind of perfect, I think. I think the perfect case diameter for all watches for any wrists that are about 6.5 to 7.5 is anywhere from 38 to 40mm in diameter. Anything bigger, anything smaller is going to wear small. Anything bigger is going to wear like a giant Invicta on your wrist. But this thing is going to slip underneath the cuff at 10.5mm in case thickness. This is going to slip underneath any shirt with no problem. I think this thing looks amazing. Let's give a proper loom shot. Now, one of the things that I did fail to mention was the fact that it has a dead flat piece of sapphire crystal on the top. Of course, you'd expect this at a watch that comes in around $400. In fact, I would expect this from any micro brand that's watches over $100. At this point in the game, sapphire is not that expensive. If you buy a watch that has something like a AFFILATE or a piece of glass or something like that, it's just a piece of junk. So this thing does have a piece of sapphire glass. So what do you guys think? It has a full 316L stainless steel, multiple levels of finishing, sapphire glass, a beautiful dial that is done to a degree that I think is quite nice. It's quite different. It's quite unique to the brand itself. It doesn't mimic or homage another brand, and it's nice when I see these micro brands kind of reach out and do their own thing. I have much respect for brands that are willing to kind of break the barrier and the norms, even though everybody can argue that a watch looks like a watch looks like a watch. The case is similar to this. The dial may have some aspects of this. Really doesn't matter. I think this thing is quite unique and it's quite elegant. I love the gradients of the dial itself. I love the light blue that grades out to more of a black on the chapter ring. I think everything is just done quite nicely. They bring you a premium movement, the premium Yoda 9039, which is great that they add the correct movement to the correct watch. I am so sick and tired of even brands that offer watches that are $300, $400, $500 with a ghost date. This is just, to me, completely unacceptable. It's nice that they didn't do that. So again, just checks the boxes for all of those things. I love that they didn't just fully polish the entire case so it would be more dressy. I love the fact that they used the multi-levels of finishing so it has a nice pop to the front, a nice sporty look to the side, and of course, we will toss it on a chase strap in just a moment. Don't think that I forgot. I think the only thing that's actually lacking on this watch is the strap itself. I think the strap could be slightly higher quality. That being said, it's very hard to really do a very high quality black leather padded strap that doesn't look worn after wearing it, you know, for a couple weeks. I could spend $100 on a black leather padded strap from a multitude of companies and it look worn, right? It already has the indention of the buckle in the strap. This is indicative of padded leather. Of course, owning a watch strap company, I understand this stuff. I think what they should have done is not offered a padded strap, but offered a flat black strap. This would have kept it looking newer for longer, but that is really my only critique about this entire thing. Everything else is done to a very high standard, a very high quality, and I think that even the fact that they offered BGW9 Superluminova as the loom, which is basically the standard sort of like sapphire glass at this point. I think they didn't have to because this is not a sports watch. It's more of a dress watch, though it does have 100 meters of water resistance, which means you can wear it every day and not worry about it. So what strap would I recommend for a watch like this? Well, I only offer a couple leather straps. So let me show you two different ones that I have at my store down below. I'm gonna put this on a slightly upgraded brown Italian calf leather strap that is limited edition, and then I'm gonna offer it on a gray suede leather strap that again brings it up in elegance, then brings it down slightly in a much more casual manner. Anyway, what do you guys think about this watch? I would love to hear your opinions down in the comments below. If you like videos like this, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button. It's free. It really does help the channel. It tells these watch companies out there that it's worth sending me some product so that I can review and continue bringing content to you guys. Anyway, I appreciate your view. I appreciate your like. Hit that notification bell, and I'll catch you in the next one.